Hello, welcome today to our TMBT Media Las Vegas podcast. Today is January 27th, 2020, and we would like to start off our show and kind of talk about the Kobe Bryant situation. We will be having various podcasts this week to commemorate Kobe and his legacy and his life. So we will be continuing on throughout the next coming weeks, and we will have more with our TMBT Pro clients talking about Kobe Bryant and what effect he's had on their career, his legacy, the Mamba mentality, etc. So please continue to join us for the next couple weeks as we celebrate the life of Kobe Bryant. Today we are honored to have one of our newest clients from Wichita, Kansas, one of our newest TMBT Pro clients. He will be traveling with us to Argentina on February 5th to participate in our TMBT Argentina Combine. Today we have LeAnthony Mcleroy. LeAnthony, are you there with us, my brother?
Yes, sir, I am. How you guys doing?
Good, man. LeAnthony is from Wichita, Kansas. Signed with us last week, and he is the first part of our series. We're doing a Kobe Bryant series with our pro clients, and he will be the first installment. This will be his part one, as far as his thoughts and his Kobe Bryant energy, what Kobe Bryant meant to him growing up. And so it will be part one of 4 for him as well. And we will be starting today. Hey, LeAnthony, talk to us, my brother. Thank you for joining us today. We know you are in the gym. You're currently in your gym and you're working out. So we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and kind of share your story for part one of your TMBT Media Las Vegas interview.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I was born here. When I was 3 months old, I moved from Wichita, Kansas to what is known as England, and my parents are in the Air Force. My stepdad was in the Air Force for 20 years. And, so I lived over there as a kid. I got a chance to experience what being in the overseas life is like for a little bit. I don't remember too much of it, but I remember some bits and pieces. For me, I moved in various different states, so I got a chance to see what basketball is in different states and just get a chance to experience, living in New Mexico, living in Texas, going to Louisiana, going to New York and stuff, et cetera, other states. But, basketball for me has just been, just pivotal, man. I'm blessed and I'm thankful that I'm able to play the sport that I love so much, Every day I thank God for that.
It is a blessing, man. It is a blessing, young man, and we are thankful to have young men like yourself that see life that way, right? And not to say that all men do or don't, but when you're trying to make pro basketball your job, you definitely have to have that mindset. And what you put into it, I can promise you, is what you will get out of it. So, just for you to have such a balance of basketball and life, and you and I have been on the phone the past couple of days talking Kobe Bryant and how life is short and how you have to work hard as a young man, because the only thing that you have when you get to be my age and Kobe Bryant's age and these older guys is what you did as a youth and how hard you worked at it, because we're at an age where we can't play anymore. Our bodies, life is not like that. Someone my age who's 49 years old clearly can't perform as the way I did when I was 29. So
absolutely,
you have to enjoy it, man. Give it your all, like you and I talk about. Put everything you can into it, and it'll pay off, man. Talk to us a little bit about your upbringing, man, in Wichita, Kansas. Tell us a little bit about playing basketball growing up in Wichita, Kansas.
So for me, my upbringings, yeah, it started really truly with two people, and it started with Cheryl McLeroy and Herb Powell. Herb Powell, and when we bring him into it, he was the one that was in the military. He was my stepdad, and he was the coolest stepdad that I know. Like, he always made sure I was straight. He always put me in tune of knowing how to be a man. And, I feel like me and him connected on a way because, he lost his dad at an early age. And, I didn't have my dad around. So, for him, it was like right on page. Like, he could be the father that he always wanted to be. And for me, it was perfect. He taught me a lot about basketball and just more importantly, how to be the right man and how to walk the right way and how to do the right things no matter what and keep your head high. And, and I bring my mom last because my mom was like my go-getter. Like, she was like always pushing me to get better. Like, my mom, I remember the biggest thing my mom always said to me is like, you're either going to be a doctor, a nurse, a psychiatrist, a dentist. You're going to be a basketball player, a soccer player. I don't care, but you will not be in the streets. And my mom always, she always told me to make her promise that I would go to college. And with me going to college, that I would also graduate and get my high school diploma. And, I always told my mom I would fulfill those things. And, I would do those things. And it paid out, growing up in Wichita, man, like I said, I didn't grow up here when I was a kid, but when I moved back here, man, it was like a part of me that I always wanted to experience, because I was always, not around other, I want to say African Americans, like living in different states, but coming to Wichita, it was like right where I wanted to be, like cultural wise, like I could get on hip, I can learn new things. And then as far as basketball, man, Wichita basketball, I feel like got some of the best basketball period, man, around the state. And I say that because there's so many hoopers out here in Wichita that are good and they can play and they challenge you and they give you awards. So like mentally, you gotta come with your A game or you will get embarrassed. And it's like every day just mentally get a tough grind and trying to get to be the best that I wanted to be. It takes a lot, and I'm thankful for people that I battled against. I could name plenty of names from guys from Wichita that I didn't went head to head with. We had some battles and it got me better. But all in all, Wichita is like, it's a beautiful city, has beautiful people, and I'm thankful that, once again, like I said, I'm thankful that I was able to live here and see the things I do and play basketball and experience life in this atmosphere. For real.
Hey man, it sounds like I've never been there, but it sounds like it's quite a place, kind of like Virginia where I grew up. Sounds like it's quite the place to grow up and to be reared by great grandparents and great parents, country people, if you will. We see life a little bit different. Not to say that that's better than anyone else's way of seeing life, but it's a little bit different in the country, my brother. Talk to me about your influences. I heard you speak of people that were important to the game, to teach you the game, to give you the positive energy. Let's talk about some of your influences and what they meant to you and what they instilled in you.
And number one, my influence would be my mom. It's like 1A and like 1A2. Number one would be my mom. Number two would be my grandma. And those two people really influenced me a lot. I'm gonna name about 6 or 7 people who influenced me. My mom, my grandma, my cousin Michael, my sister, Gary is Holloman. Just friends and family. My friend Gary Thurman. My grandma Seymour. Just those people. Reason why they influenced me because they always push me. They always push me and Marquia Sanders for real. They push me to be who I am right now. Without them being there and telling me to keep going, days when I wanted to be like, man, I'm not getting nowhere, Without them being there to keep me over the top, I don't think I would be able to, stay level-headed and stay focused as much as I am now, because, there are various, it's rarely, suddenly throughout a whole week I go without hearing from one of them. Just hitting me up, seeing how I'm doing, calling me, talking to me, making sure, hey, are you ready for this trip? Hey, is your mind on tight? Hey, are you getting up shots? Hey, are you eating properly? Are you putting enough fluids in your body? Are you resting? Various just different things. And for me, it's a blessing to have people behind me in my corner and who support me to the fullest to pursue my dreams and my goals. I pray to God every day, biggest prayer I say to God is, show me the right people and put them right around me. That's going to influence me to make the best decisions for my life and be the best person I am. So, you know what I'm saying? That's those people right there. They bring it, even as I'm saying this, they bring a smile to my face because, without them, I really wouldn't be here, number one, for real.
Well, it's good that you know that, man, and good that you're able to use that as your motivation. And, of course, these podcasts that we do, these are for motivational purposes only. My young men are not here to brag. They're here to motivate. And so we use our pro players like yourself. We use you guys to motivate our youth. We have AAU program as well, 13, 15-year-old kids that we are trying to inspire. And so we use our network of young men who are playing pros. We use those guys to school the young kids on how to live. If this is what you want to do and you want to play pro basketball, and you're 13 years old, then we would like to think we have the blueprint for it. And so we try to have the interaction between the youth and the pro guys. We make sure that we have the older guys give back knowledge and meeting these guys and sharing social media stuff. So it's very important for us to have you on our program to motivate. And so sometimes we've come to find out that we have some guys that have not joined our family yet, but they'll listen to our podcast, and they may listen to a Keith Jackson or a Shaquem Jackson or a Kasim Green, and they may be able to use some words that they may give as a pro basketball player. Sometimes you can motivate your peers, right? And so that's what
Absolutely.
We're trying to do. We're trying to use this for motivational purposes. Those guys that may be on the fence, not knowing what to do, thinking about giving us a call. Give us a call, man. We may be able to help. Even if we can't help and you don't become a member of our family, just passing on positive energy and positive knowledge to the younger generation is what we do. We get great fulfillment from that. You don't have to be a client of ours for us to give you some words of wisdom, but of course we are blessed to have you and all of our TNBT pros that have chosen us to help with this process. This is a process. As you and I talk about, and I hear you mention all the time, that you realize this is a process and it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight.
For sure.
Talk a little bit about playing basketball at St. Louis Christian College and knowing that you wanted to play pro basketball, knowing that you may not be going to the biggest college, the biggest university, but you still have the same dream and maybe have to work a little bit harder to obtain these things that you want. Talk to us a little bit about your college and how you prepared yourself for this moment to travel in February.
Man, St. Louis Christian College, man, that was an experience right there. That was a blessing, and it was actually a beautiful thing for me to go in and gain that, because just being able to go, play college basketball and get that taste and get that, atmosphere in me and be around that environment, it really helped mold me and, my game. It helped me see areas of my game that where I needed to get better at. And I say that because I always envisioned myself being at this point, but it really took me to get to this point to understand, why I had to go to St. Louis Christian College. And I say that because, I always felt like I was the underdog. And I always felt like, people really underestimated me because I went to a small school and because I didn't go to a top-notch school. And because so I always had that chip on my shoulder. Like every game I played with, like I'm about to go out here and get 20 or more every game. Like you're not gonna tell me no more. If I don't get 20 or more, or if I don't get a double, I'm not succeeding in the way how I need to succeed. Like I had a chip on my shoulder because I had so much scrutiny and people just telling me, "Oh, you playing at a small school, like you ain't gonna get nothing out of it. Like you just wasting your time." And like for me, it was like, okay, I'm never the one to listen to my haters and doubters, but it was like, okay, I'm gonna put you on my check mark list and I'm gonna check it off and have y'all just be quiet, just hush up. Because for me, it was like I didn't care where I was at. I was gonna play basketball, and when I played basketball, people that watched me play basketball, they were gonna see the joy and the love that I have for this game, and how much heart, soul, sweat, tears, blood I put in here, just to get to playing college basketball. Because I got a lot of friends who wasn't able to play college basketball. What really hit me hard is my cousin, man. My cousin was supposed to go with me to play college basketball, and a situation happened where he ended up getting shot, and after that moment when that happened, and I went and played, it really woke me up, and it was like I got my life on straight, and being at St. Louis Christian College woke me up to be like, man, get your life on straight, make sure that you taking care of yourself. Go feed the people that you love. Don't worry about all that other mess that's going on around you. And after I did that, man, I went to St. Louis Christian College, and I started playing against all these NIAs and D2s, small D2s, and I was putting up doubles, and I started seeing, coaches coming up to me and players from the school talking about, man, you can play. Like, you got some game, bro. Keep working. And, like when you start getting acknowledgement like that, you become humble, you become grateful, and you soak it in like a sponge, and you just keep working. Like my mom always tell me, like, your job isn't done, LeAnthony. My mom says that to me on the daily, like your job ain't done. Like this is just step one. Playing college basketball is step one. We trying to get you to where you want to be. And so like I said, I always envisioned myself being here, but I never envisioned having to go to a small ball and play small ball just to get to where I'm at. But don't get it for granted. It's some people who can hoop in small ball, so I can testify to that and say that,
Well, I'm a firm believer, man, that college basketball is college basketball. It doesn't make a difference what level you play on. It's all the same, especially when you get to these camps and these combines, when they don't care what university you went to. What they care about is, can you play right now? We're about to throw this basketball up, and we need to see you play now. They don't care about what you did last year in college or 2 years ago. They don't care about that. What they want to know is, are you worth them paying you the money that they have available for that slot?
Absolutely.
And so that's the beautiful thing about the NBA. Of course, it's a little bit different, but that's the beautiful thing about international basketball. It's not about where I played at. It's about, can I get down right now, 7 o'clock, practices right now. And you're playing for the job. And the sad part about it is, if you don't continue to perform once you get the job, if you don't continue to perform, then you will be replaced. Very simple. So I think the NBA has a different format. Once you sign a contract, it's guaranteed for the whole year. No. So you continuously have to work for what you want. It doesn't give you a grace period to let up. And I think that's the beauty about it. Nothing's guaranteed. That every day I come to work, I got to work every day to show this team that I'm supposed to be here. And not only am I supposed to be here this year, and that y'all should sign me so that I can play here the next 10 years.
Absolutely.
Right? Because once you find a team that you like, there's no sense in going anywhere else. There's no sense. Mando saludos a mi gente de Mar del Plata que nos está escuchando. Mando mucho energía positiva a toda mi gente de Mar del Plata, del Club Quilmes. Y bueno, mando un beso, un abrazo enorme a toda mi gente ahí. Vamos a estar juntos pronto, te prometo. And so it's just one of those things, man, that when people show you love, you in turn show them love back. And so Argentina is one place that I really had great love for the people, and they in turn had great love for me. So it's what we're trying to do with this group coming up in February. We will be having some more information. Please check into our websites. Please check into our social media. We'll be traveling on February 5th. LeAnthony will be traveling with us. Omar Briggs, a few more of our guys, Keith Jackson. And so we are blessed to have the invites come in when they do, and we try to fill them. Every time we're invited somewhere, we try to go if we can.
Absolutely.
We're going to finish up here probably in about 2 minutes. We're going to finish up your first part. Then we're going to come back and do some more. But in closing, your first segment of your interview, we want to get you to talk a little bit about what Kobe Bryant meant to you in closing. Take your time. There's no hurry. But we want to talk about where you were when you heard of his passing and what he means to you and what you vowed to do to continue on the legacy of his Mamba mentality.
Yeah, this one's man, you said that question. This is kind of hard for me, man. You know, I'm kind of teared up right now, so excuse me. I say that because, you know, I think about my grandma, just how much she loved Kobe, you know, and like she's the reason, her and Kobe are the reason, like, what pushed me to have that Mamba mentality, like, for real.
Right. Nothing wrong with crying, man. Take your time. Crying is a good thing. Sometimes it lets you know what's important, who's important, and it helps you continue to push forward. You can take it from an old man. Crying is good when you think about people that have inspired you and people that you do stuff for. You know, that sometimes they're not here. Sometimes they're still here, but sometimes that person is not here, man. So take your time. Get yourself together, man. No worries. We're here with you.
Yeah, so like I was saying, my grandma and Kobe, man, like, Kobe was like everything for me. Like, I know growing up, that was my first ever basketball player I ever seen play the game of basketball. So, you know, for me, like, seeing somebody play the game of basketball and the way how he played it, and the way how he breathed it, and the way how he mentally soaked it in and diabolically dissected it into made it to be the best. Like, I wanted that attitude. Like, I used to, this is stories nobody knows. I used to go to the gym and envision in my head, like, man, like, one day it's gonna be a time I'm gonna be like Kobe. I'm in the game-winning shot, like, for real. And, you know, like, I used to go do all the things like Kobe, and I used to go watch, you know, my grandma lived 4 houses down from me, so I used to go over her house and we watch every Laker game together. She had an NBA league pass. So I used to come from the gym, put my stuff down. My mom would be like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "You know where I'm going. I'm going to my Meemaw's house." So I go over there, and we just, you know, that's how the love for the game for me came. That's how my love for Kobe came. That's how my love for just seeing him work and just seeing him win and have the mindset like nothing you're going to do is going to stop you from winning. You know, nothing you know, the way you are as a person is going to always outshine any negativity or anything anybody has to say to you. So I took that mindset and I ran with it. And, you know, once I had that mindset, I started talking different. I started walking different. My confidence in basketball took off. Like, once I started seeing me doing the things I did, and it was from me just simply just watching Kobe and just seeing him have that stone cold killer face on his face and be serious and still show emotions, but still stay involved within himself to be a killer and get and score, but not score, but will his team win and make everybody else around him better as a person. That's how I am. That's how I push people, and that's what I do. And so, you know, like, I'm thankful that I was able to, you know, see Kobe for so long and play, I'm thankful that I was able to experience him winning those rings and sitting on TV and not TV, but sitting at home and just watching him and just smiling like, yeah, you did it, especially when he beat Boston in Game 7. I was with one of my friends, his name is Josh Warren. We was watching that and, man, I was talking so much trash because he was rooting against Kobe. I was like, bro, Kobe about to win this ring, bro. It's Game 7. He's not losing in Game 7. And, he shot 8 for 21 that game, and he still had over 20. You know what I'm saying? But just to see him will his team to win, and they was down by 14 going into the fourth quarter, to see his team win and come back and be that dominant player that he always was, it was just beautiful. And, it's just it's a tragedy to see what happened to him and his daughter. And, I'm just, like at this point, I'm just going to carry that legacy on. I that mama mentality. Always don't quit fighting. Like, don't stop being hungry for where you at right now. Because like he always say, it's a bunch of people who coming from my spot. So I got to keep working. And like, when me working, I gotta dominate. I gotta be on my best game. I gotta be on top. That's why, So for me, that's what Kobe meant to me off top.
Hey, that's pretty deep, young man. It's one of those things where I would be lying if I said it didn't touch me yesterday, right? I'm a basketball player. The young man is 8 years younger than me, so I would be lying if I said it didn't throw my day off. And pretty much everyone that I talk to on a daily basis is something to do with basketball, whether it be here in this country or other countries. Pretty much all of my friends are basketball players or sports people, or just great-hearted, great energy people. And so I think this one touched a lot of people. Doesn't matter if you were a basketball player or fan. Doesn't matter because I think Kobe transcended. He really transcended the sport, right? And so I've been on Twitter, I've been on social media all day. You can't miss it. Everyone is talking about this young man. So it's a testament. It's a testament to who he is, to what he has done. And I think it's bigger than basketball, especially when you get to be my age and you see so many people that like pro basketball, but they like certain players, and people have the debate, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, Dr. J, Tim Duncan, the barbershop argument that we have all the time. When we finish playing basketball at the YMCA, we have the same debate, who's better? And so it's just one of those things. It's a part of basketball, but I think just for his name to be mentioned as one of the best is a testament to what hard work can do for you or do for
Absolutely.
Anyone that's willing to put it in. For those of us that are basketball players, we understand that, of course, pro basketball is going to be what you put into it will be what you get out of it. Kind of similar to life. Sometimes life has a way, or you can have breaks in life that you don't get in pro basketball in other countries. So it's a testament to him, his mentality, also his family, and what he's teaching his daughters. His daughter, from what I understood, was following and blazing her own trail in basketball as well, and shared his love for the game. So,
can I just touch on something that you said?
Yes, please.
Man, well, for me, when I found out that his daughter was on board, I instantly thought about my 7-year-old son. His name is Brady James Austin. I've been there since he was 2. It's my guy. So, he's mom's, And I instantly just went and gave him a hug, man. Because I just, you're touching on, tomorrow's not promised. And, you have to every day take it, and you have to be appreciative. I tell my girlfriend all the time, I tell Marquis all the time, babe, let's not go to sleep mad at each other. Let's just talk to each other. Let's be thankful for each other, you know. And, you know, I'm not saying we have anything going on, but we love each other to death. But that's just with any situation. I tell her that go into it and face it and experience it and be forgiven, because you never know what's going to happen. You can wake up and see that person one day and the next day they go. So, you know, like I said, I went and hugged Braden. I gave him the biggest hug, and I just told him I love him. And I told him at least 7 to 10 things what I loved about him. And, you know, he looked at me and just smiled with the biggest smile. And, you know, he was just so happy, like, thank you. I love you so much, LeAnthony. I love you. And, you know, like, it's sad, man, to see Kobe and his daughter, you know. But what's more sad is to understand that his wife, to understand the pain of what she's going through right now. You know, losing her firstborn child, you know, and losing the man that she was married to since she was 17 years old. You can't get that back. That'll never be replaced. All you have now is memories, videos, and pictures. And so, you know, it's crazy, man.
It is, young man. It is very much so. Very much so. It's one thing that I was taught as a young man, a young kid, is that we don't question God and the decisions that He makes. I was taught that by my grandmother and then my mom, and so we don't ask why. He knows. Only God knows why. But I prefer to talk about and try to remember the great things that he did, because he's done so many great things for society, right? And so when you think of Kobe Bryant, I think of how he has impacted society, right? And so we're going to have more podcasts coming up here in the coming days with some more of our pro players to kind of talk about what Kobe Bryant meant to them. We're going to have a Kobe Bryant tribute all this week and next week, and just talk to the young, the old, everyone in between, to just talk about the legacy and what Kobe Bryant meant to them as a person.
Absolutely.
And so we want to thank you, LeAnthony, for joining us, man, for taking time out of your day. The last thing that I want as your coach is for you not to be working at the gymnasium while you're there. So I want to apologize for taking up a little bit of your time, but I appreciate you, man, for coming on board. First of all, joining us, joining our TNBT family. But second of all, sharing a little bit of your story, talking about your family, also talking about Kobe Bryant, doing our tribute to him. And so we want to just ask you to maintain focus, man. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of calls. We have this podcast will be broadcast on our TNBT platforms, iTunes, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, also on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, also on our website, www.miltonbellbasketball.com. And so any players that need help with basketball or need help with the process, you guys can give us a call. Area code 702-908-1501. My email is milton.bell@miltonbellbasketball.com. Hey, LeAnthony, also want you to give out your social media handles and how some people that want to contact you, if they want to talk to you about motivation or getting together for workouts, how can some of our other listeners contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Instagram, my name on Instagram is Lee_Mcleroy. It's LEE_MCLEROY and the number 2020. And then on Facebook, my name on Facebook is my first name, LeAnthony, LeAnthony, and my last name, Mcleroy, MCLEROY. And then on Twitter, my Twitter handle is same as my Instagram handle, Lee_Mcleroy20. And I just want to say one thing, man. I appreciate you having me on this podcast. From the bottom of my heart, I really do. I thank you for, just the steps and everything you're doing for me to help fulfill a dream of mine since I was a little kid, So from the bottom of my heart, from me to you, sir, I definitely appreciate it. I thank you, man, it's a blessing to know there's good guys out here like you who are trying to help, young black men like me as myself get to where I want to be and stuff like that. So from me to you, thank you very much for having me on this podcast, and I thank you for all you do.
Oh, man, now you're going to make me cry, man. I was doing good up to now. I appreciate it, man. It's, I really, it really means a lot to me when young guys kind of figure out who I am, right? Sometimes guys don't figure out who I am until you get a chance to talk to me and get a chance to talk to some of our other players, and you just came aboard. So I want to say thank you for joining us, because it's so many people out there scamming and not who they say they are, don't have the connections where they say they do. They can't do what they say. And so I take pride in being who I am or who they say I am, and being able to ask for help for my players from the people that I can, right, that I've met throughout my career, guys I played with, played against, or played for. And so now I'm just glad that they see me and know me for who I am, right? And I try to send good people down there to represent my company. Very important. And so it also sounds like this is a two-way street. I appreciate you for understanding what we're doing, but we also chose you because you sound like you are a serious young man. Sounds like you've been raised correctly. Sounds like you know what you're trying to do, right? We need more of those guys that know what they're trying to do. Some guys that I talk to on a daily basis, they're not sure if they want to play professional basketball yet. They are in between trying to do a few things, and we won't get into that, but they haven't totally dedicated their time to playing pro basketball and doing this. So I want to just encourage you to maintain focus, man. We don't have long for our trip. We'll be leaving on February 5th. Just maintain focus, man. Continue doing what you've been doing to get you to this point. And like I tell all of my students, man, all of my basketball students, and that I teach basketball to, you've gotten to this point for a reason. So it's no use in lightening up the pressure that you're putting on it. You should put more pressure. You should put double the pressure on your work ethic so that you can get double the results, because clearly you've been doing something right to get to me, right? So now I'm going to need you to turn that up, turn the volume up on your work ethic, so that when you get down there, there's no doubt in these coaches' mind that, hey, this kid deserves to play for me, right? And so like I tell everyone, and I tell you, and I tell every one of our clients that it's going to be up to you. I can't promise anyone a job, and that's not what I do. I can't promise that I can get you a job. That's going to be up to you, and the work ethic and the work that you put into now, that's going to determine whether or not you get your job. Not Milton Bell, not who I am and how many points I scored, or how many teams I played for, or whether a guy's a friend of mine or brother of mine. Yes, they're going to be brothers of mine whether or not they hire LeAnthony Mcleroy or not. So it doesn't make me or break me, but if I can put a guy in a position to succeed and kind of be the middleman. Here's one of my brothers looking for a player. Now here's one of my clients looking for a job. Now if I can put those two guys together, man, that's a beautiful day for me. And that's all I'm trying to do is put a client with a brother of mine that's looking for an American pro basketball player at their position. Nothing more, nothing less. And so it's we've been blessed enough to have 8 guys signed this year. Kenny Wormley is playing in Chile right now. He's the last kid from 2019 who signed. He's the last kid out of the 8 who signed. He's the last kid. His season is going to be over with in May. He's playing First Division Chile right now. We're very proud of him for what he's been able to endure. He's never been away from home this long. And so very proud of him, very proud of you, very proud of all of our guys. Shaquem Jackson just got back from Argentina in December. Very proud of all of our guys that do everything they can to make our company look great. And so We're going to end your first session there, but we want to just make sure that you help us and continue to do the things that you think will help you, as far as maybe the Mamba mentality, just doing things like that, man. Whatever you need to do to motivate yourself and motivate others, you are to be applauded for that. So tonight,
absolutely.
So we'll be signing off our TMBT Media Las Vegas podcast this evening with LeAnthony Mcleroy from Wichita, Kansas, doing our Kobe Bryant tribute for the next 2 weeks. We want to say thank you for everyone that tuned in to listen to us and all of our fans. Para todos nuestros fanáticos de todo el mundo, gracias para escucharnos. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely. Have a good one, man.
All right, brother.
Yep.